So now that we have laid the groundwork of what can be done for our problems, how do we do it? About 15 years ago, a psychologist named Rob Williams originated and then introduced a process called Psyche that is also radically changing the way we treat physical and mental health. The term Psyche means psychology and kinesiology, and using it we can determine unhealthy thought programs in the brain and rewrite those programs. The human brain consists of two hemispheres which are connected by the corpus callosum, which is in the red part here. It is through this corpus callosum that the two lobes of the brain communicate by means of neurons located there. I've heard many people say that they are left brain or right brain. The fact is, the healthiest and most empowering state is to be operating out of both sides of our brains. Why is whole brain thinking so important? One answer lies in the groundbreaking book, The Awakened Mind. Authors C. Maxwell Cade and Nona Coxhead studied the brainwave patterns of more than 3,000 subjects using a sophisticated EEG-type device called a mind mirror, which was developed to measure amplitude, magnitude, and frequency level of both hemispheres of the brain independently and simultaneously. Here is a particularly revealing conclusion from the book. From the aforementioned studies of the brainwave patterns of some 3,000 pupils, as well as swamis, yogis, Zen masters, healers, mediums, and clairvoyants, it has become possible to establish that all the unusual abilities that some people are able to manifest, meaning self-control of pain and healing others, telepathy, etc., are associated with changes in the EEG pattern towards a more bilateral, symmetrical, and integrated form. No better definition of a whole brain state could be articulated. This increased capacity to operate on both sides of the brain equally, producing higher levels of functioning, is the key to thriving during the high-speed changes occurring now and in the future. Once again, author Christopher M. Bache sums up the point. When the brain's hemisphere are phase-locked and work as one, a number of known benefits result, including heightened awareness, improved recall, more self-programming, flexibility, and heightened creativity. In short, super learning. I have included above this video the very definition of the word bipolar. And as you can see, it means to hold two opposing thought forms, meaning we can have entirely different thought forms or belief in the left lobe, for example, than the right lobe. This is the very definition of bipolar. However, Psyche provides us with the ability to locate in which hemisphere of our brain these self-defeating beliefs exist. And sometimes they exist in both hemispheres of the brain, and we can rewrite them. By doing so, we develop a new neural pathways for communication in the corpus callosum and thereby achieve a more whole brain state. Some commonly held myths about these changes deserve to be challenged. These myths are firmly ingrained in our culture. They've been unchallenged and accepted as fact by many people for so many years. I don't expect you to let go of them just because I say they're myths. However, I do urge you to test what I am saying and decide for yourself. The Psyche process enables you to break through these myths and go beyond their innate limitations. Myth number 1. If you've had a negative belief for a long time, it will take a long time to change it. Myth number 2. Changing old behaviors and thought patterns is difficult and painful. It's the no pain, no gain myth. Myth number 3. You need to know what caused the problem in order to change it. Put another way, insight into the cause of a problem is necessary to release it. In addition to these myths, other commonly accepted ideas make change more difficult. For example, a popular way of describing a long-held belief is to say it is deep-seated or deeply ingrained. The question is, just how deeply embedded can a belief be in a brain whose average size is only 5 inches wide by 5 inches high and 6 inches long? The real issue is that most of our language reflects the limitations of the conscious mind. What is being implied is that it is difficult to consistently identify the beliefs that are the source of our problems. Until we shift our focus to the subconscious mind and accept the fact that we typically don't need to consciously know what beliefs are causing the problem in order to change them, we will continue to have difficulty making positive changes in our lives. Unlike traditional psychotherapy, with Psych-A it's not necessary to go through the grueling process of recalling past life trauma, of how or when these sabotaging programs got into our subconscious. On the contrary, all of my clients remark how easy Psych-A is, and many of them say it's even fun. On the right-hand side of the screen, I have again included videos of Rob Williams and Bruce Lipton. I also have a very informative radio interview of Robert Whitaker. He's the author of Anatomy of an Epidemic. In both his book and this radio interview, he makes a splendidly informed and compelling case that our current psychotropic drugs are causing as much harm, if not more so, than good. I would appreciate it very much if you would listen to what Robert has to say before scheduling an appointment.